This is being young. The days of endless summers, learning that you're never too old to learn, to dream big, or to find your voice, and lose it again. It's making your first major decisions, being kind, adventurous, being vulnerable.
Vulnerability's hard.
We had a permit. We had a plan. We went.
I think that about sums it up. Why the hell did I do that? I was miserable. It was not good for my mental health.
There's maybe a handful of things that I think were core experiences that I know fundamentally shifted who I am as a person.
Cue the anxiety.
A lot of our friendship was forged behind a windshield. I'm alive.
Yes, in hindsight, I would do things completely differently.
I would never have chosen to be in some of the situations that we landed in, but we got out of them.
And I was like, are you okay?
I wasn't. Is it Yither?
Is it Yonder? Welcome to Yither and Yonder.
Welcome to our latest minisode, where we take the time to go down rabbit holes, off on side trails, and make the massive digression. Okay, where do we start?
Who we are? How we met? What we're doing here? I feel like those are all good questions to answer.
Well, I'm Nikki.
I'm Emily, or M.
It was fall of 2014.
The location, Santa.
Where we also happen to currently be, again, in 2026. I was desperately trying to get into a PhD program. And my advisor told me that I needed to go to this conference so that she could essentially drag me around by the wrists and introduce me to every professor I was applying to work with. I happened to be walking from one talk to another, and I ran into her, and she said maybe 5 words to me. She was like, "Oh, hi, Nikki, like, see you later," or something. She was off to a different talk. We had like this game plan of trying to meet up with the professor from Indiana that I was supposed to work with, and we had kept missing her. We had planned to meet after the talk she was running to, so we didn't really touch base too much. And then she ran ahead of me. I slowed down because I saw someone that I knew that I was going to connect with. Before I could even get to that person, she was like, "Nikki, come. These girls are from Oregon. Bye." And I remember you were just standing there with the biggest eyes. Like, you were just like in awe. You knew the professor from Oregon that I desperately wanted to meet.
Yeah.
And you were like, "You know Sabina Magliocco?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, Mag's my advisor."
Okay, so from the other side of that story, I was in my first year of a master's program. I had such an academic crush on Dr. Sabina Magliocco. If
Fair.
you know, you know.
Fair.
And this was my first year at this conference, and I had one goal. I mean, I had more goals than that, but I really wanted to meet Sabina Magliocco. And it's a fairly big conference for being a small academic discipline. So I thought that this was a reasonable goal.
I would say so.
Yes, all things considered. I was walking down the hall with another student from the program. I saw her. Doctor.
Mind you, she's probably like 5'5", tiny,
Yes.
little Italian lady.
Yeah, but like has a presence.
Oh yeah,
She has a presence.
especially at that conference.
Correct. She's kind of a rock star, by which I mean she is in fact a rock star. And at that point in my life, I did think that I wanted to be in the academy. I wanted to be a professor, and I was like, she is doing what I want to do. And I was like, I want to meet this person that's doing what I want to do. I was like, to the student beside me, I was like, "Oh my God, it's Sabina Magliocco." Like, "Oh my God." And I'm a little bit more of an introvert, but I was...
Really? No.
Spoiler alert. But the student I was with is like not. They are an extrovert, like true extrovert, and I'm just in awe of them. and they like stop Sabina Magliocco. And I'm like, what are you doing? We can't stop Sabina Magliocco. What are you doing? And they introduce us, and I'm just like gobsmacked, frozen.
Hence the very large doe eyes.
And strikes up a conversation with Dr. Magliocco. It's very lovely, and I don't think I say anything except, nice to meet you. And then we all go about our business.
And she, realizing that Oregon was my top choice as a program to go for my PhD, is like, oh, Nikki should be networking with these students because they may know things and people that would help connect her, because whether it's fair or not, getting into a PhD program is 100% about who you know. Because if you have a professor that vouches for your credibility as a researcher and what you're interested in doing and your ability to do it well, their friends who they see annually at these conferences are like, oh, okay, this is a good person. Because again, whether it's fair or not, grad school is about reciprocity. Also nepotism. But I was going along the lines of professors don't want students that are not highly productive and successful, because that is also going to be something that weighs on them.
Yes.
Right? If you have a highly productive grad student, that means that you're doing your job well.
Yes.
And while mentoring is very much a part of it, you don't want to take on a student who's incapable of doing the work.
No, because they're basically joining your lineage.
I don't think Magliocco ever grabbed me by the wrist and dragged me to another person in the way that she dragged me to you two. There was a moment of my CSUN bestie. We both loved Sabina Magliocco, and she's witchy and magical and funny, and her classes were always the most interesting, and she wasn't a professor that you ever felt condescended to or dismissed by. So we always called her Mags. I don't think I've ever told her that.
She's gonna know now.
I hope she loves that name. I really wanted to work with Daniel Wojcik because he did all of this alt culture. He has a tattoo book that he did in the English department. And I thought that he would understand the pilgrimage component of my research. I didn't have, sorry, Phil, as much of an immediate connection with anthropology professors, given the areas they worked in.
Mm-hmm.
My eventual advisor worked in the Caribbean on things like carnival and festival, which is nothing like hiking. I mean, it just fundamentally isn't. And so I had applied to work with Phil for my first foray in grad school to get a master's. And when I applied to work with him, it didn't land because it was a stretch. Carol Silverman, who also was my advisor at one point, studied, components of identity, but in Eastern Europe,
Mm-hmm.
which again had nothing to do with American outdoors.
Right.
So it was a stretch, whereas I felt like with Wojcik, it was oh, he may not have exactly what I'm doing in terms of his research experience. He does have American folklore, identity, and kind of alternative cultures, which I think what eventually I would call trailbro culture.
Yes.
It landed with him in a way that I felt like he could embrace my research and move me there. And to be like, you guys know Daniel Wojcik? And and they then turned to me and were like, oh, Woj? Yeah, we know Woj.
By the way, Professor Wojcik, whom I still adore to this day,
Yes.
does not like the name Woj. I have heard through the grapevine many, many, many years later, and this is my formal apology to Dr. Professor Wojcik for that nickname of Woj, but it stuck.
It didn't help that I fully embraced it and maybe called him that to his face.
Yes, it comes from a place of love and endearment.
Yeah, just know, for those that have been to grad school, you know that not every professor is a professor that you want to nickname in a positive way. It was absolutely a nickname of love.
Yes.
As is Mags.
Yes.
And I hope that that is not received the way that Professor Wojcik received his nickname.
Indeed. Dr. Wojcik, I had for several classes, and he was my advisor for a quick minute. And as I entered the program, he was the program head. He was just a cool professor. He is a cool professor. You know, he had his own independent research. He's like an old school eschatologist, like the study of the end of the world. He still very deeply cares about students and teaching, and that still shows up in the room. And the deeper that I got into academia, the more I realized how rare that is.
Ultimately, we both had professors that we really loved that were at the conference with us, that were helping us network with other professors that we really admired and wanted to know.
Mm-hmm.
And we ended up spending multiple afternoons wandering downtown Santa Fe. We spent one evening when all of the professors were having a dinner so that I could then make sure that you got to meet Dr. Magliocco and I got to meet Dr. Wojcik and have a conversation. And I was applying for grad school again. I was finishing my master's at Cal State Northridge and was in the process of applying to a handful of schools. And I really wanted to get into Oregon because, no offense to those who live in these states, but Indiana and Ohio do not have many mountains. And hiking in the mountains was what I wanted to really study. And I think it was actually January of 2015, I got a call that I had gotten into Oregon to the anthropology program, which is probably the much better fit because Dr. Wojcik was the English department. And I don't know if some of our bloopers from the beginning of planning some of this will land, but I am not good at grammar. So I don't think the English program would have appreciated my unique take on language, which is everything's a word, it just might not be English. So
I mean, you're not wrong.
I mean, folklore, right?
Yes.
Everything's something.
Correct.
But that is how we met. And
Yeah.
then I remember texting you and the folks that I had met from Oregon and being like, I got in. And we ended up in John Bowman's class. I think it was something like folklore and environment.
Yes.
I don't remember the exact course listing. We ended up chatting a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't remember even how many times we had hung out before I was like, have you been to the Eastern Sierra?
No.
We need to go.
I'm in.
Thanks for listening. We appreciate your support in this retelling of our chaotic adventure. We love to hear from y'all, so reach out on social media at yitheryonderpod or send us an email at yitheryonderpod@gmail.com. Find us on your favorite listening platform, and please rate, review, and subscribe because it really does help. Don't forget to check the show notes for resources and helpful links. And if you'd like more content, subscribe on your favorite membership platform. Info's available on our website, yitheryonderpod.com. We've got weekly blogs from each of us, some planning resources from our trip, with tips on what we do differently, and some other fun bonus content. We truly appreciate you joining us on this great adventure. Until next time.